boo-boo. So hopefully now, did I do it? Oh, yes. I believe I did it right this time. So we have to wait and see if everybody finds this stream. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Yes. All right. There we go. I apologize. I have to do these things all on my own. I apologize, everybody. I am still learning Restream, and it's a bit of a pain in the tuchus, as we say. And I try to be as independent as I can so that Debbie Brady can take a day off. My gosh, that beautiful goddess works far too much. Let me make sure I'm doing. Oh, yes. All right. Everything is kosher now. Everything is fine. Well, my goodness. Let's take a breath. We've gotten past all the glitches. So the next thing we have to do is we have to get a good look at you all. Yes. While I charge my mouse, because my mouse, they say my mouse is low. So while I charge my mouse, I will get a good look at you all. The Oracle will take a good peek. What the heck did you all do Saturday night? My goodness, yes. Cheers, everyone. L'chaim, l'chaim. Thank you, Debbie, for designing our merch. If you're interested in being an extra special friend of the Oracle, consider supporting us by taking a look at some of our merch. You know, I always come in and I always know I'm going to have hot flashes on Sunday. The pollen allergy has diminished because I guess the pollen levels are not as high as they were a couple months ago. So at least my cough is down. But, you know, us ladies, just fill up a bunch of ice. The problem is my cat loves ice, and my cat ends up running off with my ice water. So now I've just started giving Mila ice water. All right. So if you haven't had a chance to do so yet before we get started, it would be really great if you guys could like and subscribe. That would be totally awesome. And a couple of announcements before we get started today. Oh, thank you for the hearts. I love when you guys do that. It makes me feel so warm and fuzzy. So we have a very special fundraiser. I wanted to raise for the Osher House and Taka Shelter, but neither is registered with GuideStar. And they have to be registered with GuideStar in order for us to run a fundraiser on YouTube. But the people in Tennessee for the A Forever Home for Senior Dogs, which is a beautiful residence for senior dogs where they can live out their lives in a forever home. If you'd like to support them, that is our fundraiser today. L'chaim, l'chaim, everyone. Well, now that we've gotten that out of the way, I request only one rule as we play with the Oracle of Whimsy today, and that is that you be kind. Now, I mean it. I know it's difficult. Think of it like this. The people you're annoyed with, the people that are driving you crazy in politics today, they're just crazy. You have to look at them as if they're insane. Now, to be angry at someone that's insane, now that's not rational, is it? You just have to view them as someone who needs medical attention, right? Yes. All right. Anything else I need to announce before we get started? Yes, you all know we have a book of the month. I actually I packed one of the copies. I apologize, I don't have it on me. I could jump up and get it. Why don't I do that? Inviting the Queen. Inviting the Queen is our book of the month. Inviting the Queen. Who here has ordered yet the book, Inviting the Queen? I think I'm just going to let it go. I had it here. I have 2 copies. And one of them is for Chuck. So I'm flying out at 6 a.m. tomorrow to meet with Chuck. We're going to be doing 1 minute little sketches. We're also, Chuck and I are going to the Forever Hollywood Cemetery. Y'all interested in this? We're going to two places. One is the Forever Hollywood Cemetery, which is where Judy Garland is buried, along with several other famous people. And we're going to see if we can pick up anything, and we're going to film it. I know. There are also UFOs over, can you believe it? In the middle of, Griffith Park is like in central Los Angeles. You guys all heard about this? And they've got the Griffith Observatory. So there's been some strange lights and activity in Griffith Park. So we're going to go and do some research and see if we can't pick up anything. Also, I have a special scope on my phone, different colors like the green, and see if we can see any UFOs. Isn't that exciting? Like right in the middle of the heart of LA. Yeah, so that's what's going on there. So tomorrow on my way to LA, and if there's any parts of LA you want Chuck and I to visit and see if we can pick up any energies about it. Also, I think we might go to Charlie Chaplin's home. There's a few places. Errol Flynn's home is very haunted. People have like died there and all kinds of crazy stuff. Okay, so are we ready to do a couple of remote views? Is everybody ready? Has everybody liked and subscribed? Yeah, are we ready to rock and roll? You saw two UFOs. Was it in LA? Was it the Griffith, near the Griffith Park ones, or that's the ones just crazy. Yeah, I think it seems like they're more emboldened now, right? Like it's more out in the open these days. Yeah. All right. So first remote has to do with the war in Ukraine. It seems to unfortunately, the war in Ukraine is kind of following the trajectory of what Putin said he was going to do. And it goes back also to what Putin had said about losing his trade. He lost the ports when they pulled back. And so he lost those trade routes, but he also lost the profit from the ports. And so he has escalated attacks on the ports because of this feeling like we don't have the right to the spoils of war. They went in, and under the Soviet Union, they built these infrastructures, the nuclear power plant, etc. And Putin sees it as the West attempting to take the spoils of war from Russia. So now we have a situation in Russia where there are secret meetings taking place between world leaders and the West. Shylock is outside terrorizing Mila. You are not nice, Shylock. You must stop terrorizing Mila. You must stop this thing. No, Shylock. Shylock, leave Mila alone. This is cruel. Telling her to come out and play so you can laugh in her face. Vicious. You are vicious. You see what I deal with? You thought I was joking. You didn't believe me, did you? That's Shylock. This is my life. He's asking Mila to come out and play because this is what he does all day long. I know. No, she's staying in because you've made her frustrated. You're neurotic. You're a neurotic crow. You see? You think I make this stuff up. I don't make this stuff up. Anyway, so what's happening now, which you can expect, is that remember how British intelligence was very polite and they started paying Wagner and other people to basically give up military positions, etc. Now it's open information. So that's what happens. So what the leadership, the oligarchs in Russia who want to sell to the West are being told it by Biden is get rid of Putin and we will stabilize trade with Russia. Think about that. Get rid of Putin. They're saying to the oligarchs that are being sanctioned and losing all this money, if you get rid of the guy, we'll reopen negotiations. So now the West, including Saudi Arabia, is meeting with Ukraine. So that's what's kind of going on at this time. Okay, what do you guys think about that? Pretty interesting? Or is shot? Do you hear him yelling? That's because Mila is sleeping. He's trying to wake Mila up. Every time you hear him, he goes at the window to get Mila to come out. She's sleeping. Shylock. No. She's sleeping. Let her sleep. Come back later. She's sleeping. No. She's sleeping. No. Let her sleep. Any questions about that? Or has Shylock completely stole the show? Oh my God, I can't believe my life some days. So this is the Witch's Cottage, by the way, if you're wondering. This is from Shutterstock. I have a Shutterstock. Yes. Okay, so the next remote view is FBI investigating leaks can't speak English today. The FBI is investigating leaks, excuse me, not to be confused with a type of onion. No, leaks. Yes, the leaks inside the intelligence agencies, but particularly the State Department. This is something that's come up before, is that basically there were huge leaks coming out of the State Department, and some of these leaks are being linked back. That's why it's leaks and linked. Leaks are being linked back to hostile foreign governments. And so it becomes, again, another embarrassment for the FBI when these public hearings start to happen, that the FBI failed to protect the American people from these kinds of attacks. And specifically, there's going to be and is a huge investigation that's not entirely public, or I don't think it's public at all, about what happened inside the State Department. We talked about the fact that possibly a cleaning crew or some other group had been putting malware, North Korean, Chinese, Russian spyware, malware on some of the computers out of the State Department. So it becomes this embarrassing thing where the FBI becomes the gang that can't shoot straight, blabbering nonsensically about Hillary's emails. Meanwhile, the whole frickin' Trump State Department is a sieve. And this is going to blow up relatively soon. Meanwhile, they keep blabbering, well, Hillary's server, blah, blah, and there's all this malware that's been discovered. So that's disturbing. And yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, Joel, yeah, his State Department was horribly corrupted. And that seems to be a pretty big deal if you think in terms of just the type of spy and malware that was going on. Thank you, Anonymous, for donating to Senior Dogs Forever Home. Much appreciated. So, you guys want to talk a little bit about Marjorie Taylor Greene? She is in the news again. She's been behaving unbelievably irrationally. She could be in legal trouble herself. I mean, she referred to President Biden as a piece of, she's not a comedian. She's a member of Congress. I'd be curious what you folks think about her behavior. And if you think a member of Congress should be able to uh, you know, do you think that there should be no consequences for her behavior? I guess that's Mike. Oh, he gave up. Shylock took on. Yeah, so she's calling for the impeachment of Biden. I don't think it'll get anywhere. I mean, they are using ageism, his age, and the fact that his VP is not popular. They may go through a kind of overhaul of Kamala Harris's image just to make her more warm and fuzzy, because she is having to work on her reputation a little bit, just because the Republicans they trash powerful women, but particularly with powerful women of color. I think that's a lot of what it is. Yeah, and so the last remote, which I had talked about, just had to do with Russia's trade partner. As long as Putin is out, they're willing to do business with the oligarchs of Russia. In plain words, if you're looking at Ukraine meeting with Saudi Arabia, which is a huge trade partner with Russia, what Saudi Arabia is saying to their trade partners in Russia: we'll continue to do business, but Putin is out. What do y'all think about that? Yes. Hi, Melody Harmon. Thank you for being a member. Hi, Fillerin. Good to see you. Thanks for helping out today. Hi, Fingal. Thank you for being a member. What you guys eating? What you guys drinking? Hi, Kay. I'll be seeing you in a couple hours. Let me know what you want to eat. I can bring us some food. Hi, Janice. Janice, good to see you. And we have a $25 donation. Thank you for the donation to Senior Doggies. Yeah, so that even, senior doggies, they're like people. We don't want to throw them away. We want to love them. We want to love them and hug them. There's nothing sweeter than a senior Labrador or a senior Golden Retriever. They're just nothing but love. They put paw prints on your heart. That's what senior dogs do. They put paw prints on your heart. And if you rescue a senior from a shelter, they never forget. They know you're special. Yeah. We got to love them from beginning to end, our doggy friends. We can't just throw them away, right? All right. So I think we should blitz, blitz, blitz away. What do y'all think? Think we should do the empath prayer and then blitz, blitz, blitz away? Margarine, tater, collard greens. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, thank you, MJ420, for donating $5 for the Old Friend Senior Dog charity. Much appreciated. All right, let's do the empath's prayer. Let's go ahead and focus. Okay. Okay, I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together collectively we say, Amen. All right. Let us do the collective reading, and then after that, we will blitz, blitz, blitz away. Sound good? Let's give you guys all a collective reading. This is a reading for everybody that is watching the reading today. If any part of this reading doesn't speak to you, it's like a smorgasbord at a table. Just pass it down. Maybe it applies to somebody else. It's part of the collective. We try to include everybody in the collective, what the collective energy is like. Different cards signify different things, right? And different archetypes are expressed in the cards. So the card or the archetype that we should meditate on at this time is the King of Swords. King of Swords comes to us as the base of the matter. And the reason that the King of Swords comes to us as the base of the matter is that it will come as at a time when we need boundaries. In Hebrew, the word is din, the law, right? You know, boundaries. Gevura is to fence something in, gevura. And din is like the law. It's when you come in and you have to be stern with someone, usually because somebody has done something that may threaten you in some way. It's the Ice King. It's the freeze. For example, when you're dealing with a narcissist, they say the way to deal with them is the gray wall, right? It's to become icy yourself and just they cease to exist for you, erase them. Also, you can see your karma card here is the Four of Pentacles, which is to pull back and retract and protect yourself. So I would also ask people to hold off and not do major purchases right now, because these are both restrictive cards, restriction of coin, pulling back, and also this freeze energy. So let's just pull back a little bit. I know that there's a lot going on with the US Treasury right now, some of which is not public. But part of what they're trying to do is to shake off foreign investing in the US housing market. And so every time they raise interest rates, foreign investors start to crumble. Foreign investors that have messed with our banking system. We were going to have to rescue a couple banks, but it's also had an impact on our overall rating, right? So America's rating, our lending rating, et cetera, have been affected. When you do business with a country that doesn't have your best interest at heart, the stronger you make them by giving them money, the weaker we become. And so we have to reassess our trade deals a little bit. But this is a time of pulling back, both internally in your life, but also on the global scale. Let's not hire our enemies, let's hire our friends and family. And so even though it's thought of as like a conservative concept, well, charity begins at home, there is this energetic idea that when you strengthen your own country and you don't take labor, say to a country that doesn't honor the same labor rights that you do, et cetera, that you're going to start incurring some bad problems, particularly when the money raised in China is going towards their military, right? So it's us paying for them to possibly put us in a dangerous situation. King of Swords is a military card. It has military aspects. So it's not just freezing. It's sometimes a need for military action, a need to protect oneself. This is a time of fighting. Everybody's fighting, Five of Wands. So you have exchange of ideas right over you, fighting, military action. And they're saying, while everybody's fighting, the best thing that you can do at this time is just pull back and don't make any financial decisions that are risky. You're in a period, by pulling back and doing nothing, you're actually in a position of power. If you're dealing with people who are emotionally cruel, it would be advisable to gray wall them at this time. I see real estate purchases for many of you and strong business decisions in your future. Be careful about having close relationships with people who threaten your safety, lie to you, or have already proven in the past who they are. If people have already shown you who they are, believe them. I see many of you traveling. This is a time of meditation. Care for your own garden right now. Pull back and do not give anyone money or help yourself right now. Take care of yourself right now. There's a real need for you to pull back. Four of Cups is the final outcome. Limit your compassion and focus only on yourself, because particularly in people who have betrayed you in the past. That's the reading. I don't know what the market's going to be doing, but they're basically saying with those cards, no loaning money right now. Now is not the time to be loaning people money either. So that's something else we have to think about, Okay. Pretty crazy. Yeah, I mean, those were really retractive cards for those of you who are card readers. I mean, Four of Pentacles is like frugality. King of Swords coming as the base is like the sword, like, you're protecting your stuff. And then Four of Cups is, I don't want that offer. So this is all about, be careful about being taken for a ride financially. Be careful of major purchases. Be careful of being manipulated into doing things you don't want to do from other people. Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah, I'm going to take my hat off if it's okay. Crazy, huh? Yeah, I think it's just a wild time in the world's history. And I think that we're seeing the beginning. The peace, it's the peace deal with Ukraine. Russia was not invited to the peace negotiations that are taking place in Saudi Arabia right now. So everybody is in agreement that Putin has to go. Putin's allies, Saudi Arabia and other people that do business with Russia want Putin gone. So now the question becomes, who's going to replace Putin? It's not going to be someone that supports the war, because the coalition that met with the Saudi Arabian prince is not going to go for that. It has to be somebody that wants to do trade with the West, because the whole purpose is to do trade with the West. All right. So whenever you guys are ready, we will blitz, blitz, blitz away. So what do you guys think of the cabin in the woods? How many people would be happy living in this cabin? Let me see some hands raised, some smiley faces. If somebody were to give you that house and, maybe you have a bicycle that can take you down to the village by the cliffs, the water, would you take that? See, I would take this deal. That would be perfect for me. But I would like there to be a village at the bottom where I can go and get my bread and eggs and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, that cabin looks like it's about, 500 to 700 square feet. Isn't that average for a cabin? They're bigger. A cabin is, I think, what is it? A tiny house is 250 square feet. A cabin is 500 to 1,000 square feet, usually, sometimes 1,200. But I don't need 1,200. I think I would be I don't think I need more than, how many square feet do you think you need for your cabin? Theoretically, if it was just you. And say you had a quarter of an acre to, what you see there. By the way, these are poppies on the right here. You can see the poppy field. So it's kind of like a medicinal garden you can see growing. I think that's some foxglove, which is digitalis, which is used for cardiac arrhythmia. I think I see some other things floating about also. I think I see some iris versicolor way back there. It's supposed to be a medicinal garden behind me. I think that's kind of cool. Shalom, Adina. Shalom lach. נעים מאוד, Adina. תודה. Okay, Pam Sykes. Okay. Will Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas be able to clean house? Yeah, they're trying to get rid of him. They've actually been obstructing his investigation. So let's take a look. You guys, did you believe me when I told you about Shylock playing with Mila? You guys didn't believe me, did you? Yeah, it's a funny bird. Okay. There's a lot of fighting taking place in Homeland. And I think that if you're looking at like the old school person in Homeland, they really don't like these changes. It's a rebellion of the new guard. Like they declared war on Mayorkas. That's how crazy and extreme Homeland looks when you go into this energy. Look at the fighting taking place. There's again, like everything that was in Trump's orbit, they have to sanitize, right? The sun is coming in, like Impetigo, right? Compromised. Who said that Homeland was compromised? The State Department was compromised. Homeland, he's going to be fine, by the way. He's entering into the magician. It's just more crazy making, but he will wade through it and they will go to jail. I mean, Texas is in trouble. Michigan's in trouble. In terms of Florida, just where these crazies and all the crazy stuff they did. But he went in and his job was to clean up Homeland Security. And that is precisely what Mayorkas is going to do. You can see here, look at the retraction. Remember, retracting. Look at his enemy walks away from the battle. Major break in August, so we could see more arrest in Homeland Security, more charges. You can see here the August card, and we can see the magician and strength for Mayorkas, so you don't have to be worried about him. He's very safe, and it's just empty threats. Okay, let's see what the beautiful Kay Travel. Kay, could you text me what kind of food you want to eat today? If you want something like fried chicken, or do you want something else? I can grab us. I'm going to grab us something I'll grab us something to go. Just text me. Let me know what you want to eat. Don't cook. Rest. I'm bringing my guitar, by the way, too, Kay. We're getting together for fun. All right, I forgot to put it in caps. That's okay. I'm asking about biowarfare labs being created in the States. How many? One was found in Fresno, California, near my hometown. Yes, the issue of biowarfare and possibly targeting biowarfare facilities. Thank you. That's a great question. We have interesting machines. just because of my science education. We have, if there's a leak in the lab, one of the devices we have raises the temperature of the sample to where it kills it so it can't escape. Y'all know that, right? So, like, say if there was a break in the sample, it would trigger extreme heat and that would fry so it can't leave the area. There we have things like that. So some of these devices that hold biowarfare in and of themselves, if there's a leak, triggers the biohazard to be incinerated, is what I'm saying. So it's not like it's completely out there. There are ways in the event of an accident, usually these things get incinerated. High Priestess is over this. I don't feel any danger. Also, the Strength card. Page of Pentacles would indicate that it's for pest control. It's not to go to war with people. It usually has to do with plants, etc., biohazard, etc. Queen of Cups would indicate more research. She rubs her lamp. She creates. It's a creative card. Could also be used in the military. This is intellectual property, right? High Priestess. This is the military. Our enemy, Four of Pentacles, would indicate is retracted or pulled back. However, they do have a Strength card. That's probably China. And then the final outcome is world cooperation. War is expensive. Warmongers make money, but we have to come up with new ways of making money. Do we want to continue to help warmongers get rich at the expense of the entire planet, or do we want to come up with another way of making money as a planet? And I think we're moving in another direction. And the final outcome is the world, and that is cooperation towards a common goal, which is global abundance, and then to expand it into the universe. There's no need for us to be so fearful and driven by these kinds of fears of scarcity, etc., when we have the knowledge and resources to create enough abundance for everybody. Hi, John. Good to see you, John. John asks, will Trump be jailed pre-trial because he violates his bond restrictions and rants threats? It goes back to the remotes. We've talked about this, where everything is leading to the feds putting hands on him. Every time I follow the energy as a remote viewer, they're putting hands on me. And then as Donald Trump, same thing happened to me. It was extremely traumatic. I had to go to the military school. They're taking me back to the military place. This is how mentally ill this individual is. They're still trapped in experiences from childhood. And one of those experiences is being forced into a military environment and being held by military-like persons, and they're going to do it again. That's how it feels. But let's go ahead, John. I can't imagine, given his behavior, that he is not going to be contained within the next week or two. They really are not going to let him do this. They're very serious. People say, oh, they will not arrest Trump. They will not hold him. Yes, they will. Even if it's for 72 hours while they ascertain him as a threat, they will hold him pre-trial. Let me take a look. Yes. It's yes. The answer is yes, John. They're probably going to hold Trump pre-trial because of his behavior. You can see they take his power away. He is a criminal defendant. He's not the president anymore. He is a criminal defendant who is threatening people. Five of Swords is to take your enemy's sword away. This means that his ability to do that will be taken from him. His opposition gets their wish. Their wish is probably to contain him. Here's the judge. Here comes the police. Yeah, probably, John. On that note, I need some more coffee. I don't know. Y'all saw the cards. What do you think? All right, do you feel better? That's what I always want to ask. Do you feel better now that he's indicted and now that we are days away from them dragging him off to Bedlam? Did you switch up the popcorn recipe? Have you ever put kelp flakes in popcorn? Makes them healthy. Coconut oil and kelp flakes. It's very tasty. And sesame seeds. It's a nice little combo. All right. Fani Willis filed some document yesterday, which was it yesterday? No, it was Thursday. She filed some document on August 4th. I don't know what it was, but I believe it had something to do with okaying, I believe the document signed on August 4th that I found from her was an approval of the police commissioner's plan for security, which means that they had to present a security plan and then it had to be approved by Fani Will. Oh God, I hate this stuff. So that's the document she signed yesterday. She approved the security. So when she says we're ready to go, that's what she means. Let's take a look. Let's see what Fani Willis is going to do. And thank you to everyone who has donated to a forever home for senior dogs. People are going to be charged and arrested, and it's probably going to happen with next week. Yeah. Because the policing, the plans for the police, but the police commissioner were approved. That they had to have it approved. That's what they're telling me. The police, the barracks, the policing. The Knight of Swords is also an arrest card. It's a raid. It's aggressive police action. This was the approval. We will know who's being charged. The Sun. The indictments are coming down, and then here. So yeah, it'll probably be this week. Oh, they said that they're waiting till September because additional charges could be tacked on up into September. That was why they asked for additional time, because they could be applying more charge. Oh, God. Aren't you glad it isn't you? Like, that's the one thing that I do like about my job. We're not the ones in trouble, right? Yeah, it's in the next week, maximum week or two. You can see the police, very aggressive. There could also be some protest in Georgia because you can see this tower and you can see the Knight of Swords, which would indicate there is some organized protest. However, the opposition, which is Fani Willis, has the Constitution on her side, both the state and federal Constitution. This is the Constitution, the ethos of the land, and then the Sun. Here's the charges. Again, it's moving very quickly. Yeah, week or two, probably this week, coming week. Well, that'll be fun if it happens during Taco Tuesday when I'm in LA and we're munching on street tacos and Oh, that might be cool. All right, the aliens. Yes. Can I speak on the aliens, please? Any new info? I can't believe no one is talking about them. Yeah, people have kind of like gone into this lulled kind of, we don't know how to process it because people went under oath in Congress and said that non-human biologicals were retrieved. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? So um, I don't think that we should assume that we are the only people. Just because we haven't discovered a life form on Earth doesn't mean we're the only life form on Earth. And we have to think about cloaking as a defense tactic. And some beings appear to be better at cloaking than others. And so, if they're that good at cloaking, why would we discover them when their defense system is cloaking? So, it took us a long time to discover these life forms because they have advanced cloaking techniques. That's all. But we shouldn't be freaked out. Why should we assume as humans that we have the capacity to discover every life form? We know that some cloaking techniques that life forms use are very, very advanced. And where we went wrong is we assumed we were the smartest creature. We assumed we were the only creature that was technologically advanced on Earth. We know that there are other branches of humans that evolved naturally without any alien DNA or any of that nonsense. It's just a natural part of evolution. So consider the possibility that there never were any aliens. Consider the possibility that there were various different branches of hominids throughout time, some of whom lived deep in the caves as a way of surviving leopards, developed advanced technology and a hidden society over hundreds and thousands of years, and that they've been here and that they are not from another place, that they're just another species of human or Homo glaucus. Homo gray blue is Homo glaucus. And we're just now making contact with them. Maybe now there's some medical experimentation going on because instead of blowing things up, they've used their brains to create advanced scientific research. And we put all our attention into killing and blowing things up. They developed advanced cloaking so that they didn't have to go around killing everybody and instead put their research towards advancing the sciences, travel, space travel, etc. That's another argument. Another argument is that they're us, right? That it's just a time loop, and that we're basically seeing beings who are humans that have figured out a way to come visit grandpa, right? So there's so many. It's crazy. We don't know what the hell's going on, and I think it's exciting. We know that they're probably not aggressive, that their main way of protecting themselves is just to, disappear, basically. But there are a lot of cryptids. There are a lot of beings we think now that know how to do this. This is something that Native American shamans teach, which is how to just disappear. If you want to learn more about that, Tom Brown's Field Guide, he studied with a Native American tracker how to track animals and how to become still in the woods so that if you wear the colors of the woods, you can disappear, and you can imagine yourself disappearing, and people literally will not see you. So yeah, I think we're talking about a lot of cloaking. Fear by alien species that humans are violent, irrational, dangerous, and so they have to remain in hiding. The biggest fear for aliens, when you put yourself in their shoes, like the Greys, is that they will be captured. Would you want to be captured by violent, crazy humans and have them do medical experiments on you and be calling you a creature? Of course not. You'd be terrified. The other big fear is that we'll get a hold of their technology and reverse engineer it. And so when you do a remote, like the remote we did in Las Vegas, when we put ourselves in the shoes of the Greys, their number one, the first thing they did, their cloaking device didn't work, so they had to freeze people. They couldn't move. The guy couldn't move. They're not going to kill the guy, but they're going to prevent him from hurting them. They were close to having to hurt somebody in the sense that they were going to do everything in their power in that remote to make sure that their equipment doesn't get into the hands of a human. So that was their number one priority, is you're not going to touch our pod, you're not going to touch our stuff. And if, at that point, we might get violent. So it's good for us to know that, because if any of us are out just in the woods and we see something, don't try and take their equipment. Respect the fact that they're cloaking because they fear for their safety, and for good reason. But these are not the only beings that are cloaking. I mean, now there's cryptids that live deep in the cave, right? They went deep into the cave to get away from the leopards. Now we're finding all these crazy cryptids. And again, some of them in Eastern Europe. My God, there's some crazy cryptids over there. And yeah, I think a lot of it's real. And about, just because I don't think we can assume, just because we haven't discovered it, that it isn't real. Yeah. Yeah. New science happening very quickly. New horizons. More disclosures from the police. Letting go of old ideas. Okay, so if you haven't had a chance to do so yet, it would be great if you could share, like, and subscribe to this channel. And be sure and check out all of our wonderful merch developed by Debbie Brady. It's a great way to support my channel. Also, if you'd like to be a member of the channel, it's another great way to support us. It helps us keep the channel running. We get together on Saturdays for private readings. We also teach HCRV at the Elders and Empaths level. And benefactors are always welcome. And you can have a free reading with me once a month. So if you're trying to get in for a reading with me, please check out the information also below this video. I offer Wizio readings. I think they're 5 minutes long, and I think they are like $30. And I usually get those back to you within a week. Also, if you need to see me for a private phone reading, that information is also below the videos. L'chaim. So, you guys can help me decide what I'm going to have for lunch. I'm going to visit my friend Kay Travel. We're going to do some music. Yeah, got to figure out what kind of lunch I should bring. I was thinking of doing like a picnic thing. I like picnics. You guys like picnic food? Like the whole watermelon. Oh, hi, 1111. Good to see you. 1111 is a benefactor. Thank you, 1111. Huge news conference with ETs overseas in less than 2 years. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Let's see what other questions we have here. We did speak on the aliens. We did that. Did the Trump will be jailed? We got to that. We got to Homeland Security. We got that question knocked out of the ballpark. Oh, the FBI busted China biowarfare labs here and in the US. We just incinerate. I mean, as scary as viruses are, they're not stable usually in heat and stuff like that. Lionsgate, can you remind me what Lionsgate is, Fireside Psychic? I don't remember what that is. Coleslaw and cheeses, yeah. Okay, tacos is making sense. You want tacos? But really? Interesting. Fajita salad. Okay, you guys know that I'm going to be eating a ton of tacos tomorrow, Taco Tuesday. I mean, come on now. That's a lot of taco. Taco, taco, taco. Okay. Lizzo has gotten into some trouble. I just love Lizzo as an entertainer, but she flew a little too high and she got a little too rude, right? Which can happen. People need to humble themselves. We all sometimes can think too much of ourselves, and then we have to humble ourselves, children, right? And unfortunately, uh, maybe she has a little work to do on herself. Let's take a look. They're going to win their case against her. She looks at it as her business. Her brand is her business. She's a businesswoman. So, first and foremost, Lizzo has to look at it as the future of her brand. Her brand took a hit. Now she's getting attacked on social media, etc. She's feeling it. Her opposition has the Six of Wands, so they won. Um, she has to work with her legal team. It's happening very, very quickly. You can see the Ten of Wands. She has to work very, very quickly on this because she has to clean up the mess to her career. Yeah, you can see mastery over her business. Just apologize. People screw up. It's not like she killed anybody. She's got some issues, though. She's got bad advisors. She's got people close to her that need to be fired. She's gotten in business with some bad people. You can see here they're winning. 10 of Cups could indicate that they're trying to work things out. Hopes and fears, 3 of Cups. But you can see here over her business, she's got the Devil. And that could indicate that she's going to have to really reassess who she's getting advice from and who she's working with, because this could be somebody attempting to flee, who's telling her to flee responsibility. And she's just getting some bad legal advice. And instead, she needs to humble herself and clean up the people that she's working with. Yeah. All right, you gorgeous creatures. Did you all have a fun brunch? Yes? Was everything all right with you? Are you happy that the big bad wolf is getting taken away? I bet you are. Yes, of course you are. Yes. You don't want anything spooky happening. See, I feel guilty now that Shylock didn't get to see Mila. You see that? He cried and cried and cried for 5-10 minutes, and Shylock didn't get to see his girlfriend. Oh, well. He'll be back, right? All right. I want to thank you all for joining us for this Sunday brunch. If you haven't done so yet, it would be great if you would like and subscribe. Again, if you're trying to get in for a reading with me, you can find the information below this video. Be kind to all and allow all to be kind to you, as we say, and I will see you all next time. Be well, everyone. Thanks again. Thank you. And thank you for your donations to our charity. Much appreciated. The senior dogs appreciate it. Thank you.